And welcome back to the Focal Plane podcast. And if you haven't subscribed to this yet, I pity you. So this is interesting, right? So here we are in the wonderful surroundings of the East Sussex National. And my guest today is very much woven into the fabric of that. Now, I've had the real pleasure of taking photographs of some of the events that she's organised, but that's where things hit different, right? So the events I'm talking about, they're very, very unique because it's not about just showcasing a wonderful venue as beautiful as this is. It's about bringing local businesses, charities, community leaders, bringing people together for opportunities to grow. And that's really unique about a place like this. And I want to find out the mindset behind making events like that, but also just creating a culture where people want to come and thrive in that environment. Beth Baldwin, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. And tell us, do you know what? I forget your job title. What is that?
It sounds very complicated, but it's actually not. So I'm front office and sales office manager at East Sussex National. So I look after the sales department, the reception department and the nights department.
That's a lot on your shoulders, right?
It is, but I do it because I love it.
Of course you do. I know, and I say that not sarcastically. Yeah. I say that because I've seen you do your work. I've seen the way that you interact with people when you're doing your events. Yeah. There's a real passion behind that. There's a real fire behind that I'm certainly I zone in on that kind of thing, right?
Absolutely.
And tell us a little bit about that. So I was referring to some events that I've taken some photographs for, where you've done a food drink makers festival, you've done Easter markets. I know you've got some things coming up that we're going to talk about as well. But where's the thought process come for that? Because it's just an amazing thing to see. Businesses come together, local communities come together, charities, people that you support as a venue, but you're actually leading it. It's not as if you're just kind of creating a space for it. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the main thing for us as a hotel is that we've got so much here. So we've got the spa, we've got the golf, we've got the event space, we do weddings, we do conferences and events. And for me, it was more about looking at kind of what the local community are after. So any gaps kind of in the market at the moment. And we love supporting charities. Yes. So we've worked really closely with St. Peter and St. James's Hospice. Brilliant. And more recently the Children's Respite Trust. So for us, it's great because we can support the charities and also bring some awareness about what we do here as a hotel as well.
Yeah. So, but where did that come from, right? So that all makes sense to me. And I see that play out. But I guess what's very different is I don't know many other venues of this sort, right? Because you've got, look, you say you've got a spa, you've got golf, you've got, you do weddings here, you do big events, and which is wonderful, but so do lots of places. But not many places will lead on those events in the way that you do. They may provide a space for it. Yeah. But where did that come from? What was the driver for it? You talked about communities and finding gaps in terms of what people wanted, but there must have been, I'm trying to think of where the spark was to go, let's go with it. Let's run with it.
I mean, there's always that commercial aspect of bringing revenue into the hotel. Sure. And then I think for me as well, there's that whole people aspect. Yes. And I love working with people. Yeah. I think taking a fresh look at an events calendar, it's not about just filling up a load of dates. It's about doing something different and doing what people want. Yeah. And I don't think anywhere, particularly around here, really does what we do. So this was just a new idea I had to kind of support local people.
And that's a event that I first photographed for you was your inaugural Food and Drink Makers Festival, right? Yeah. So tell us about that. How did that come about?
So I wasn't expecting it to be as big as it was. I honestly, there were nights where I'd lay awake thinking no one's going to come. And then 500 people turned up.
Well, at least the photographer showed up, jeez.
Yes, you did show up. Thank you for that. And we got some amazing photographs, which just bring me such joy, looking back at them, because it just takes me back to that amazing day. I mean, the sun was shining, which definitely helped.
It helped and hindered though, right?
It did, it was a bit warm.
I don't think, I think every bit of clothing I wore that day I've never touched again because I had to rip it off me.
I can understand that, yeah. I think you were wearing a really thick waistcoat and sweating buckets. Yeah, it was a hot day though. And I
have to look smart no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And there I was in my polo shirt, just chilling. But no, to be honest, I I didn't actually believe that it was going to come together so well. And the feedback we received was so positive that it made me want to do it again. And it was just a bit different to what we've done before.
Yes.
It worked.
Yes.
You know, I think there's a real element for us about bringing local people through the doors.
Yeah.
You know, we're a hotel, so people travel far, you know, from abroad sometimes. You know, we welcome people from Iceland, America, all kinds of places. But for us, it was about welcoming local people through our doors, and it did that. And people come back. Each year, which is great.
And let's talk about it a bit more, right?
Yeah.
So because, yes, exactly, the local business element, the local crafts, arts, goods, produce, you set it up beautifully around the back of the hotel with just the splendor of seeing, you know, the almost, you know, Narnia-like forest behind us. But you had, you know, stalls, you had entertainment,
we did.
You had, and when I was looking around, and of course we captured this in the shots as well, a whole plethora of different people from different walks of life, really just enjoying the space and enjoying the vibe. But that doesn't just happen. I know you say, look, I didn't believe it would be as successful as it was. Look, when you put those things together, of course that's going to work. Like, of course that's going to be awesome. But it's easy for me to say that I don't organise events. But what was your thought process to go, right, we're going to make it like this, and this is going to land?
I think there are so many local businesses that go unnoticed, and particularly small businesses or people who are just starting out and maybe going on a new adventure with it. And it gave an opportunity to bring people together who might not have done something like that before. You know, there are a lot of kind of local markets and events like that in the local area, but not necessarily something in a 4-star hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like a different venue for a lot of people as well. And for us, you know, it was a great focus on some of the amazing food outlets we've got in the local area. You know, some of the farm shops, the breweries, the winemakers and all sorts, and also the people who make their own things. Like, I think there are so many underrated businesses out there. There are so many creative people who can make the most beautiful things, and it just gave them an opportunity to come and kind of sell them and network with people as well. And lots of them are wanting to come back this year, which is really good.
Brilliant. And this will be the 3rd year that's happening.
It will,
isn't it? Yes. So there's a big theme that comes across there, right? So you talked just at the end there, you mentioned about networking together and people coming together. You know, there's a gin stall on one side, there's somebody making candles on the other, there's somebody putting together fluffy toys on the other side, and then you've got brownies, you've got sweets, you've got all of this, and it's this almost kind of Marrakesh-like cacophony of things going on, but in a way that people feel all part of that unit.
Absolutely.
So was that a real big aim of yours? Like, was that kind of high up on the agenda of, look, whatever event I do here is going to be about connecting people together? Was that
absolutely
part of it? Yeah,
100%. I think people are so essential to a good event. Like, you know, you need good people around you who have got a positive business outlook, who care about what they do. And I'm very much like that in my role. So it was a huge thing about bringing people together. And like recognising some of the local talent, because there's a lot of it. And what have you seen then? Now you're coming to the 3rd year, you've got people who are wanting to come back, which is awesome. Absolutely.
But what have your observations been around that journey with those particular events, and what have you learned?
So I think there are just so many local people around who do incredible things. So I think for me, it's been really rewarding seeing people interact at these events and getting to know each other and making connections. And some of the people who actually come to the events also organise events. So they've met contacts through that, and it's kind of expanded their, their opportunities as well. But also, you know, I've made connections from a hotel perspective as well. So like with some of the wineries and breweries, they are now suppliers of ours
awesome.
And so on as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are just so many amazing connections you can make at these kind of events. And it's just really rewarding to see it all come together.
Which is beautiful, right? So this really reminds me of something. I've had a few guests on this podcast who are either they run businesses that are about networking or they are heavily involved in marketing that involves networking. And there's really one big theme that's coming across, which is that the opportunities are there. It's just about how you approach them, right?
Absolutely.
But what's wonderful is that you're creating a space for it. We can all go and network somewhere, and there are some amazing places to do that. But when it's so intentionally put together. And an observation I had was from the two that I've done is, look, I'm running around with my camera, right, headless chicken. Well, I'm a bit more deliberate than that, but essentially, I'm like, okay, so what's going on here? Whose stall is this? Getting to know the person behind the table.
Yeah.
Each and every time, I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm learning something new about this, passionate about this person. I'm learning something new about why this person gets out of the bed to do this.
Yeah.
And it's addictive. It's actually really addictive. Like going around from table to table until someone like goes, get that camera out my face, then that's less addictive. But
that is true. Yeah.
I mean, look, it happens once or twice. But the ultimate thing of that is it's this self-fulfilling prophecy where it just inspires you to learn more and more about people.
I think the people are such a massive part of organising any event. And I think the other important thing to remember is not all events go perfectly.
Yes.
So I always make a huge point after these events to go to people and say, what would you do like differently if you were running this event as well? Because I want those people to come back. I want them to have successful days. I want them to do well. I want them to make connections and sell all of their stuff. Maybe not all of it, because then they'd have to like make more.
Have to make it all again.
Yeah,
No.
Exactly. But
what a problem to have. Yeah.
Absolutely, it does happen. But it's so rewarding to actually just stand at the back of an event and like see it all come together.
Yes.
It's such a good feeling.
Yes. But then, okay, so that you've raised an interesting point there. So, yes, not everything does always go smoothly at an event.
No.
What have you experienced?
I think the most important thing is to learn from anything that doesn't go well. So, you know, bad weather can happen. I've not yet had a rained off food festival, but we always have a backup plan. You know, it's going to happen one year, isn't it? Hopefully not, but it might do. So
we've had all the rain for 2026. I think we're done.
I know. Now. I really hope so.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's going to be like this the rest of the year.
Yeah,
100%.
Here's hoping.
You've heard it here today, folks.
Yeah,
good.
Definitely. As long as it's good on the 27th of June, we're fine.
Yes.
But I think things can happen. You know, you might be organising an event and your guest numbers will be really low or something just doesn't work out. And I think it's really important to learn positively from those things and learn, you know, there's always room for improvement. But I think turning it into a positive is great. Yeah. And you have to be resilient.
Yes.
I think that's one of the key things I've learned over the years is like be strong and be resilient and take feedback on board and learn from it.
And what helps you to do that? I mean, what helps you to find that resilience? I
don't think you ever feel ready to like do a new event. I don't think that's something that's it's certainly not inside me. I never go into an event and think I'm really confident about this. So I think it's just about taking a plunge sometimes, like taking a step forward and thinking I'm going to give this a go. Yeah. And quite often the reward is worth like so much. So yeah, I would say that's kind of where I stand with that.
And I guess what's coming across to me with that, like you say, taking a plunge, and we sometimes get really hyper focused on waiting for that perfect moment to do it. Yeah. And I'm so guilty of this myself. I can think of just 1,000 things now flood in my head of, oh man, should have just done that. Should just do this. Yeah. Should like what actually is the worst that's going to happen? If I've got the right intention behind it,
exactly,
then all I will do is learn.
Yeah,
is ultimately the only thing that could go wrong,
and possibly put something incredible together.
Yeah.
I think the best thing about these events that we've been doing are each one's been better. So it's evolving and growing into a bigger event. Yeah. You know, we're raising more and more money for the charities each year. Brilliant. So good things are happening. We might even need to find a bigger venue or something.
Bigger venue than this.
Yeah, we might need to expand onto the golf course or something like that.
Take over the hotel.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm up for it.
There's a few out there, right? I'm not naming any names, but like, people can just look on Google and go on Google Maps. Ooh, what's nearby?
Oh, yeah. We don't want anyone else to be doing the food festival. It's ESN.
But this is the thing. So I don't think anyone can. And because if you... one of the things that I'm learning recently is people may try and copy what you do. People may try and emulate what you do. Just that is a badge of honor. Yeah. Right? When someone's trying to basically replicate something you've done. Because, hey, awesome. Like, love that. Because someone's been inspired to do something that, you know, I've had the mind to do, similar to what you're saying. But at the same time, and like this is the slight psychopath in me, right? At the same time, you're never going to do it as well.
No,
right?
No chance.
Because you didn't bring that fire from within.
Yeah.
You've sort of had it transplanted onto you.
Yeah.
And that's no bad thing. Don't get me wrong. Like we all do that. There's certain things I do in my business that I've seen other people do, and therefore I try and incorporate that into what I do. But I know full well I'm not going to do it as well as that guy or this person. It's just something I'm using as an adjunct. Here, for events that are so deliberate, so intentional, and so meaningful for the people that come in. I mean, the conversations I have with the charities and the people you're supporting, I mean, they're just like loving it. They're just, this is awesome. This is not like the other events that we do. Some may be bigger, some may be smaller, but there is a vibe to this, and we're really getting our messages out to people in a way that it's not a forced sell. It's not people like a conveyor belt of people coming through. It's just a really organic scenario. And that has a million parts to it that no one's going to be able to copy all million of those.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think like one of the big attractions is that we make the events free.
Yes.
So, you know, a lot of businesses are rightly so very commercially focused. They're revenue driven. You know, you want to bring money in for your business. Of course, who doesn't?
Yeah.
But for us, like these events aren't necessarily huge money makers for us. They're about the charity and about the people. And I don't think there's enough of that around. So that's why we wanted to be a bit different. You know, we have a calendar of events full of tribute nights you know, flower wreath making workshops and all sorts of things, something for everyone. But these events are just stand out for us. They're two huge ones in our calendar.
Awesome. And what have you got to look forward to then? You've got this Food, Drink and Makers Festival coming up, 27th of June, 2026, as you mentioned.
Absolutely, yeah. So that'll be in our grounds, same as last year, again in support of the Children's Respite Trust. So they're our chosen charity for the year. And then we also have our Artisan and Makers Fair as well, which is on the 25th of April.
Brilliant. And that's slightly different to what you've done before, right? At least it's called something different.
Yeah, partly because it's not near Easter.
Okay.
So we've made it less of an Easter event, more of a makers event. So we're really focusing on those businesses who hand make their things. We're going to have some food stalls there as well, because who doesn't love food? But it's really going to be about local businesses who are making their own products from scratch. So there's going to be no bought in stuff. It's all going to be handmade, which I love.
Brilliant.
Being a creative person. I'm a great one for that.
And you're going to do that in your national suite?
We are. So it'll be an indoor event, just because we can't always rely on the weather in April.
Or any day, but yes.
This is true. We are in England. But yeah, we'll have about 60 stalls at that. So it'll be less foodie, more kind of makers, which is exciting.
Excellent. No, that's there. But do you know what? That's new information for me, because I was going to ask you about some more finer details of this from a photography perspective, because I certainly don't want to make the same mistake I did last year, Beth, and not take a couple of photos of stalls who are expecting them. I
feel like you can be excused because there were about 60 or 70 stalls there. So
also, I'm pretty sure that wasn't in my brief.
It definitely wasn't. And maybe some people weren't very photogenic.
Her words, not mine. Everyone's photogenic.
Are they?
Absolutely.
Depends how good the photographer is.
That's why I'm behind the camera, right? But
Not at all.
But but it was a great event. I loved you had this really not flowery, just like colourful decor on the ceilings, and it just felt like
spring has sprung.
It was a gorgeous day as well, and it was coming through the windows and everything. You had wonderful entertainment. Who was it? It was a singer, wasn't it?
Vanessa Sargent. Yes, she's wonderful.
She's awesome. Yeah, and I know she does lots of events and weddings and things as well.
Yeah.
And do give her a follow on her Instagram channels and things.
She's
excellent.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Really, really good. Exactly the right vibe for that.
Like I say, there's just nothing else really like that about, so why not do something different?
Yes.
Now my brain's whirring and I'm thinking, what can I do next? Like having all this conversation.
Well, what can you do next?
I don't know.
We won't hold you to any of it.
No.
Just anything that's floating in the air.
I feel like I need to come up with another plan now. And then, we'll see.
Take over the world?
Maybe not, no.
Take over the events world.
Yes, maybe that. I'll give that a good go, yeah.
So what's been, I'm not saying you avoided the question earlier, but maybe you did. Where have things not quite gone to plan? or have there been elements of things that have not quite gone to plan that you've learned from specifically?
I suppose like maybe zooming out a little bit at some of the other events we do. So, maybe some of the corporate events or the weddings or, I don't know, other social events we do here. You're delivering a product and people, they don't just buy into the venue, they buy into their coordinator or whoever's organising their event. And having run a lot of events, I think it's just so important to meet people where they're at. So someone organising a golf day might need completely different things to someone organising a wedding. And a lot of the time when you come to organise a wedding, they've not done it before. So you're really that point of contact. And I've learned, I suppose the hard way, you have to find out what those people are expecting from their event. Because the worst feeling is when something's not met their expectations. And it might not even be your fault as the coordinator. It might be something to do with the venue or something completely out of your control. But I definitely feel like I've learned the hard way with that. And it's just so important to be open and upfront and transparent with people. So, sometimes things don't go to plan and that is completely okay.
Yes. It's about, like we were saying before, it's about having the right intention behind it.
Absolutely.
And then actually whatever decisions you make, okay, sometimes they go exactly to plan, sometimes they don't. But as long as your methodology behind why you're trying to do something is there, great, you can learn from it. If it's not, okay, you need to examine that. But there's something really interesting about what you just said though. You're talking about meeting people where they're at. You talk about that, you didn't use the word assumptions, but it was kind of coming across a little bit around you're so experienced doing what you're doing. You've done hundreds, if not more than that, of different types of events that you've coordinated, organised, brought things together. There's so many things for you that are just water off a duck's back.
Exactly.
Right? It's like if you were trying to learn to drive, I'd rather have a driving instructor than Lewis Hamilton teach me how to drive.
I would agree with that.
Because, I mean, everyone would love to drive like Lewis Hamilton, but the guy won't be able to tell you how he does it because he's just that expert at it. It's like, well, I don't know how I do these crazy turns. I just do.
Yeah.
But also taking people along, and especially in the event world, right? Taking people along the journey with you.
Yeah.
Not only does that mitigate some of these issues, but it's so rewarding.
It
right?
is. It's so
great when you see people like kind of light the fire in their head as you're talking to them. Hey, let's look at things this way. What's important to you? How can we make that work? Well, where are your ideas coming from, and where can we meet in the middle? And it's the same in the photography world. I mean, I make so many assumptions as well about, I shoot golf days, I shoot events like the ones we're talking about, I shoot weddings, I shoot performing arts. Every single time, I always have to tell myself, Sam, don't just go into autopilot.
Yeah.
Don't just do that. You might think it's the right thing. And do you know what? Of course it is, because it's me, right? But no, take people along for the journey with you. Yeah. Help them understand why you do things the way you do it. And do you know what? You've got a lot to learn from that person in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. And just because you might do it like that doesn't mean your clients, your guests want to do it like that. That's the most important thing. Yeah. And that's where you gain experience because you do, we might do 30 weddings in a year, but they're all so different. And that's just, it's quite amazing really. Like seeing the photos, particularly afterwards, you think, completely different to the one last week or, so it's amazing. And I think one of the most rewarding things in event coordination is seeing an event through from start to finish as well. So like receiving that initial inquiry and sometimes people are so unsure of themselves, if they've not done it before.
Of course.
Okay, what do I actually want? Oh, I don't actually know what I want in my event.
I just know I needed to be a thing. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
I haven't thought about these details or how that works.
Yeah. I might have thought of a date and that's about it. So, and then guiding them through that process, like sending them a quote, which has to be done, doesn't it? Sending them a quote for what they want and then kind of guiding them through that coordination process and then seeing it all come together. It's great.
You get the opportunity to help shape it for them.
Absolutely.
That then just lifts it and elevates it above.
Exactly that. Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. And that's where you become so integral in that whole process and where you feel rewarded at the end of it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah. And then that person or that client, whether it's for your events here, be it the businesses that you invite along or guests that are coming for your event, they will never forget that feeling. They'll never forget that feeling that, oh man, yeah, they got me, right? They understood me. And yeah, we sort of feel like kindred spirits now.
Exactly.
And that we don't pay enough attention to that in the event world.
No.
Or really in anything, to be fair, but definitely in the event world, it's kind of glossed over. Or there's this, in my opinion, there just is more of a focus on the glitz, on the shiny lights, on the what have you got on your Instagram, on the what have you put on TikTok, rather than that real, actual connection that you can only get from actually connecting.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think like COVID kind of lost some of that, didn't it? Because all of this had to stop.
Yes.
And now everyone's got back into the events world, and I think it's thriving more than ever, which is really great.
Which is fantastic to see, yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Brilliant. So yeah, actually Beth, on that then, so we, on the element of connections and events, we've talked about what we experience and what you have seen doing this. What kind of lessons would you want someone to learn? What message do you give somebody who's maybe thinking about being in the space that you're in now around that? What do you want them to know?
So I would say to anyone kind of looking at going into the events industry or even the hospitality industry, if you're looking for a perfect, easy path, events probably isn't it? So, you do have to learn skills like empathy, consistency. You have to be dedicated, you have to be flexible, you have to be compassionate, and you have to be resilient. So it's such a rewarding industry, but it's not easy either.
No. And the one of the things you talked about there around, it's a great message around, learning. You can learn these skills. Like everyone has the capacity to do that. You can learn to empathize in the right way.
Yeah.
You can learn to put yourself next to somebody and walk that journey with them. But that's so key, isn't it? Like just get that, if we can get that instilled in our mindsets early on, wonderful.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. But tell us a bit then. So, I said at the beginning of this intro, you're part of the fabric of this place.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So you've been here for just over 10 years now?
Just over 10 years. 10 years in November. Yeah.
Wow.
So
talk us through that.
It's quite a long time, isn't it? Now I come to think of it. So I never really planned to get into this industry, funnily enough. So I did a degree in music. So I play the clarinet. That's my main instrument. I'm classically trained, so I can play things like, Mozart's clarinet concerto, stuff like that. Completely different to what I'm doing now. But one thing that degree did teach me was to be a stronger person. It taught me how to write really well. It taught me how to communicate well with people. And it made me into a more confident person as well. And I've been able to carry a lot of those skills kind of into this role. So I left university in the summer. I thought I need to go and find a job. I'd moved back home with my parents, which was great. But I thought I can't just sit idle. I've got this degree. I need to go and find something to do. So I saw a job come up for receptionist here at East Sussex National. And I thought, I'll do that for the summer. That'll be all right. And I've never left.
Here we are, 10 summers later.
Here we are, yes. So, I was on the front desk, checking guests in, checking guests out, taking phone calls, dealing with people all day. It was very fast paced, had its stressful days, but I really enjoyed it. And I found myself just thriving in this new environment. Soon afterwards, I was promoted to assistant reception manager. I did that for a month, and then the reception manager sadly left. So my bosses said, fancy giving it a go?
Yeah, fancy a big learning curve.
Yeah. So I did.
End? Yes, yeah.
I did. And then I managed the front desk for a few years, so the reception and nights teams. And then I moved into sales kind of post-COVID.
Yeah.
And now I manage all three departments. But it was really when I moved into sales where I found my passion. I feel so settled in this role, and I feel like I'm doing something I'm good at. And that's a really nice feeling. I may well yet go back to music at some point. I think it's a great hobby. Not that I really play my clarinet. I'm sitting here pretending that I play my clarinet. I don't. But it's
about to get it out. It's under the table.
yeah. Crack it out. I can probably play maybe Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Brilliant. I don't think I'm grade 8 anymore.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But what was the so on that though? What was the master plan at the time? So going into doing the degree in music, did you have a different vision around where you were trying to get to? What was the?
Do you know what? I didn't really have a plan. Okay. I think I just kind of fell into this role and I found it suited me. Yeah. I did always want to use my music degree because part of me thinks, why did I do that when I'm not going to use it? But actually it gave me so many other skills that I apply to this role every single day. And I've definitely grown as a person so much in the 10 years I've been here. So no, I didn't particularly want to travel the world, which a lot of music jobs kind of entail, you know, touring in orchestras and things like that. Yeah. And I didn't particularly want to be a teacher. My mum was a teacher. She kind of put me off.
Yeah, mum. Oh my God. Yeah.
So I thought, let's keep a lookout for something and do this in the meantime.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not a normal kind of entry into the hospitality that a lot of people have had, but it's my story and I'm proud of it.
That's awesome. And you know, there's something quite refreshing about when you said, look, I don't know that I necessarily had a plan. Because as much as I very much, I don't want to use the word envy, but I probably do envy them a bit. Admire, shall we say.
Yeah.
As much as I admire people who from a very early age are just like, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. This is where I'm going to go. And hey, wonderful, man. Like, you know exactly where you're going to go. What a great feeling that must be. But I don't know how many people that applies to necessarily. It certainly didn't for me. And I just like think maybe as people we just develop differently. Maybe as people we understand and learn our passions from experiential learning than it is necessarily having that goal set out from the start.
Exactly.
And look at what's happened. You know, you've taken you did your music degree. You didn't necessarily have a big vision around that in mind, but you learned lots of skills doing it. You took that into the hospitality role and you made it your own. Like you built so much stuff. You're managing so many different areas that take different skill sets, but also blending that all together. I have no doubt. And I'm going to just impart something onto you, even though you haven't actually said this yourself. I have no doubt you take that creative itch and apply it into all those things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I do think that's the bit I love. You know, I manage a lot of people and that can be challenging. It can come with its challenges. But what I do really love is applying my kind of creative skill set to things like these events. That's where it's really rewarding.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have that flexibility as well, to be able to just kind of evolve things and use your skill set to apply to different things.
And I mean, how does it feel when you see that evolve, right? So you talked about different stages of that, different steps of your career thus far. And at each moment, sometimes you've been plunged into a deep end, sometimes you've done it intentionally, the events being a clear example of that. When you see these things come to fruition, what's just going through your mind?
Sometimes it doesn't really feel real. It doesn't really feel like I've actually achieved what I have. And I think just so much work goes into it as well. It's not just me pulling these events together as well. You know, the team are so integral.
Of course.
You know, I've got a really amazing events team and reservations team behind me who help me kind of pull all of this together. But it is amazing to see it come together. And for me, like, I really thrive off the good feedback that comes back after them as well. And that makes me want to go for more as well.
Yeah. And what kind of things have you heard? Specifically, anything that's kind of really driven something forward or change your direction even?
I think, well, namely, I suppose the feedback from the charities that they found it really incredible to come to an event like this and feel so supported. You know, there are so many people who do some amazing charity work in the local area, but I don't think there's been anything quite like this, especially not that a venue has kind of facilitated. So I think also the feedback from the stall holders who attend, the fact that they want to come back, or so many of them want to come back, is so rewarding as well. Feedback from other members of staff at the hotel who are like, wow, we've never done anything like this. This many people through the doors. This is like insane. So that's also really, really great for us as well as a hotel.
Has there been anything specifically that's made you like switch up what you do a little bit or take a different direction or maybe an unexpected learning you weren't thinking about?
Yeah, so I think particularly with the music, like we've received such good feedback about the entertainment. It's obviously a passion of mine as well. So we're having like a different vibe this year with the music. So we're welcoming Ruby Mann, who's a kind of local singer. She's quite up and coming. She does a lot of work with the West End and things.
Ah, nice.
So, and that's the thing with the creative side of it. Different bands, musicians have really different vibes. So yes, we're going to try something a bit different with that this year. We try and mix up the food offering as well. So we've got some really different food vans, like really cool cuisines coming this year as well, which should be quite fun. And also like the hotel do their own food, so we do food quite well here, but we normally do our own like biryani stand. I think we're going to do cream teas this year, like a bit of a Wimbledon theme and things. So we're always up for new ideas, and we're always evolving it. We want it to be a bit different every year, not the same, churning the same event out over and over again.
Of course. It must be wonderful to be in a position where you can have real autonomy on that. And you see a vision, you want to realise it, you make that work. Where's the future for you? Where are you looking at? You've given a little bit of a hint around some of the, you did to a degree about, your mind's wearing away with different events.
Yeah.
But where are you sort of looking at going forward?
I'd definitely like to do more of these kind of events, like the food festival and the Easter market and the artisan fair. I think they work really well. They're new, they're refreshing, and no one else really does them. So I'd like to put a different spin on that maybe in the next year and do some bigger and better events. And for me, like that community feel is so important. Yes. So, maybe working more closely with business owners in the local area, and maybe looking at some more networking events. People are my passion. So I feel like anything with people is good. That sounded really awful.
No, that's great. I'm keeping that in because that's what's different though. My opening spiel was about how your events hit differently.
Yeah,
and it's about bringing those communities together, bringing business owners, charities, and all the people that we talked about.
Yeah,
and seeing that in this sort of a space, so done so deliberately, is what is unique. That I don't know, and I don't know everything, but I don't know of really anywhere else nearby locally that is doing it, or at least doing it so loud.
No, Yeah, we put a lot into our kind of marketing and our events and our calendar of events. It's hours of work that kind of go into putting that together, and we want to hear from the people as well about what do they want us to do. So I know this week we're going to put the feelers out about what tribute nights people want to see, and we do listen. So I think definitely we need people in the local area to love what we're doing, and that's a huge passion for East Sussex National.
Brilliant. What have been the big hits so far?
With tributes or generally?
With any of those, anything on your calendar, but yes, tributes as well.
We're huge around Christmas. I feel really wrong speaking about that in February. We're in March.
Who knows when I actually get around to releasing this, but yes.
Okay. I feel really strange talking about that this early in the year, but we're big on Christmas. So we do huge party nights. We do tribute nights around Christmas as well. Brunch with Santa, all kinds of things. Our afternoon teas, they're really popular. So we do themed ones around Mother's Day and we do chocolate themed ones and all sorts. But we have a really strong events calendar with lots going on.
Yes.
We thrive off that.
Have you got a personal favourite?
I love Christmas. That's a big one for me. No.
Otherwise, no. What about the tribute acts then? So highlights for that. Just in your own opinion, what have you really loved seeing?
Robbie Williams.
Yeah. All right.
Michael Bublé.
Okay.
That's a good one. ABBA. The ABBA one is so good. So I think we've done the ABBA tribute maybe 4 or 5 times. It's like it sells out every time. Such feel-good music. I think people love it.
You can't lose with ABBA, right? So it's it doesn't. You either love ABBA or you pretend to hate them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are the only 2 types of people in the world.
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. So I think this year we're thinking maybe a Pink tribute. We've not done one of those in a few years. I think that'll go down well.
Yes.
I'd like to do a Take That tribute. I might be alone with that, but...
As in you on stage pretending to be Gary Barlow?
No. I may have a music degree, but
I think, guys, we've heard it here. It's going to happen.
I'm afraid not, no. I won't be impersonating Gary Barlow anytime soon. I don't think that would be a sellout night, unfortunately.
I mean, obviously will. If it was advertised like that, the whole of Sussex will turn up.
No, I don't think that's a good business plan, Sam. Sorry.
Well, that's why I just take the photos. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Do you have any ideas for tribute acts that you'd like to see here?
I mean, there's just been some brilliant ones that I experienced last year. Like, I had a very, very tribute-heavy events calendar last year.
Did you?
Which... it's fascinating stuff, right? I think I saw photographed 3 different Taylor Swift tributes.
Okay.
And yeah, man, like...
Did you rate them like 1 out of 3?
So they were all excellent. I think my favourite, and I feel bad because I can't remember their name. They've all got slightly different names.
Yeah.
The favourite of mine, by probably some distance to be fair, was the one who played in the Horsham Friday Lates last summer. They were excellent because it wasn't just the person doing Taylor Swift, it was the band behind her as well.
Oh, it makes such a difference.
Which was big. They were nailing it.
Really?
And to the point where, that was... I don't really know Taylor Swift songs. I don't know that many of them. There's a few that like sound familiar, or at least back then sound familiar. Now I know loads, but it was
secret Swiftie.
It's not even a secret, because the thing is, this is what I'm talking about. These tribute nights, it kind of made me really appreciate stuff about certain songs that were like, oh, actually, no, this is actually a pretty good tune, you know? And, but they do it so finessed. I mean, there's some, I think I used to have an idea in my head that it was always just going to be a bit gimmicky.
They've got big boots to fill. Yeah,
they've got big boots to fill. But no, these are like seasoned pros who are fiercely good at what they do.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I would say that was a bit of a highlight for me, that Taylor Swift tribute. Saw a phenomenal Dua Lipa tribute in the Horsham Big Gig last year.
Amazing.
Wonderful. And I mean, her and her dancers, they know what they're doing in terms of the photos as well.
Really?
So it's just, okay.
Yeah.
You know when to look at the camera, great. And that was a joy to photograph, but also just really hitting it out of the park.
Such great music.
Hitting it out of the park.
Yeah.
And again, it makes me appreciate those artists more, way more.
Definitely.
There was a great Robbie Williams tribute there as well, who's fantastic, really. Just had the swagger about it as well, which was... That's what sells Robbie Williams to me, right?
Yeah, like absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So there are so many people doing some amazing things. But those ones stood out to me. Yeah.
No, that's definitely good. There's some good talent out there.
Yes.
You just got to look for it.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. So you putting on events like that and having now a bit more of a focus around, tribute nights, which perhaps you didn't so much before. It's win-win for everybody.
I think so.
Local artists, local people who are trying to, make it in their space, who are trying to get themselves established, to have opportunities like this come up that's gold dust.
I think so.
Absolute gold dust.
Yeah. And a great venue to be at.
Yeah, exactly. And certainly if I look at, event calendars from similar establishments elsewhere, you see similar sorts of stuff. There's that kind of bread and butter to it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
There will be the murder mystery night. There will be the the tribute acts. There will be the Christmas schedule, but keeping it so kind of authentically unique to you, and interspersing it with the other things we've spoken about is. It's a recipe for a real success.
I think so. Yeah, we try.
Awesome, man. Love that. Love that.
Thanks.
So I know you guys have got your events calendar up on your website.
But there's some exciting stuff coming up. It's all on our website.
Brilliant. And just remind us of those big dates. So your Artisan Fair.
Our Artisan Fair is on the 25th of April. And then
Brilliant.
Our Food, Drink and Makers Festival is on Saturday, the 27th of June.
Excellent. And where can people go to find out more about this stuff?
So go to our website, there's a QR code and our calendar of events on there. And when you arrive on the day, just come straight through the hotel doors. You'll find us there.
We'll get those links put out
Amazing.
in the descriptions and things as well. So then just to round this off, Beth, so tell us, right? Somebody who's wanting to get into this space, you mentioned about having resilience. You mentioned about learning skills that may not necessarily come naturally to people, but are essential. If you looked back at yourself, back when you started day one at East Sussex National, and you could go back to that Beth Baldwin then, what would you tell her?
I'd say don't wait to feel ready to start something new, because I don't think you ever are. And I've learned so much over the years. Like, looking back, it's just so reminiscent really to see how far not only the hotel's come, but how far I've come as well. And that's not just down to me, it's down to everyone who works here. But I would say, just don't wait to feel ready. Just go for it, because there's so much opportunity out there, and there are so many supportive people out there who want the best for you. And I think if you have the right attitude towards it, you'll thrive. Yeah.
And it's that's a wonderful message, and it's so great to see someone do exactly that. You know, in the hospitality world, where let's face it, it's more and more there's pressures on not just the people working on the ground, but people facilitating it. There's a lot of turnover.
Absolutely.
There's going to be, right? But to have stuck it out like you've done, but really build something from it, that is what I find inspiring.
Well, thank you.
That's incredible. And was there anybody that inspired you to do that as well? Or did this come more organically from the things you've spoken about?
I think for me, the people that we work with are so integral to how we feel at work. And there are some incredible people who work in this hotel who are so experienced and really, really passionate about hospitality. And I really admire that. So there have been so many integral people to me on my journey who've guided me and taught me. Told me off when they need to, but raised me up.
I'm sure you gave as good as you got, Beth.
Absolutely,
I can see that. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But also people who raised me up when I really needed it as well, because it is tough out there. It's not an easy industry to work in. It's pressurized. It's stressful. It's so fast paced, and sometimes you do have to compromise, your work-life balance a little bit. But it's so worth it.
It's for the bigger picture though, right?
It is.
Yeah. As long as you're doing it for the right reasons, and it's not
absolutely.
It's not forever. It's about putting that graft in to get to that place, right?
Definitely. And it's not for everyone, and that's completely okay. But I think, there's so much opportunity in this industry, and it's really underrated. I think there's a lot of kind of negative stigma around hospitality. And it is tough. Yeah. But you know what? There's so much good here as well.
Yeah. And Beth, a personal thank you for me as well for getting me involved with your events.
It's a pleasure.
It's been absolutely wonderful from that very first moment. And even when we were speaking about it before, and I approached you at one of the Wielden business events, and I'm sure you were just like, oh, another photographer who's just like in my face. How do I get rid of him? Yes, I'm sure. Yeah, come along. Great.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. No. She says with a wink. But it's just been brilliant to work with somebody who's got that mindset. Like, it's so refreshing, and it's so easy then for me to go, right, everyone needs to come to this. Everyone needs to go to this. Everyone needs to recommend this. Because look, as I've said multiple times on this podcast, none of this is paid promotions. I only talk to people and about things that I really believe in. And because that way, I know that I'm talking about something that really means something to me as well.
Yeah,
so thank
absolutely.
you for being a massive part of that. Thank you for creating something with this space, this event space, this beautiful hotel that's got so many things going for it. I spoke about you being woven into the fabric. I mean, absolutely. It won't go away. That's your stamp. You've already created a legacy in that, which is phenomenal. Well done.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. And thank you to you as well for all you've done for us as a hotel as well, because I just think you've captured those events so beautifully for us, and there are so many happy memories attached to all those photos. They're so bright and colourful and sunny, and it's just been great. So we're looking forward to working with you more as well.
Brilliant. Excellent.
It's been a pleasure.
Excellent. Guys, thanks so much for joining us today. And I'm going to make sure I put the links down below for the East Sussex National, but also do make sure you visit their socials on Instagram, Facebook and TikTok. And Beth, thank you once more. Really looking forward to seeing what's coming.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.